So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Down at the 25. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the 25 on 2nd down. Prescott. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Gibson here running out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Tua going to throw. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Laviska Shenault, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Trucks over him. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep an eye on that game and others as each week becoming more important here in November. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Here we go. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll buy some time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now this defense for the Commanders, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that's caught inside the 35. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. These two teams all tied after one. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the 30 on 2nd down. Prescott. And that's Elliott. Complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Tua. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he hadn't made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 22 yards there, a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Prescott. Incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Second and 20. They'll throw again. Prescott. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 47. Go, get out there.
Prescott to throw it. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, They may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Two and now on first down. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're going to get this up to midfield. On second down, a run with Gibson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Play action. Now it's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Working with 2nd and 5 now. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to pass. Tua. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
Throwing on second and 8. Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here we go.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Tua. This is Chenault on the receiving end. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Tua setting up shop to throw again.
He completes this to Cole Turner.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, set. 38.
Tua, the final shot before half. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They'll look to throw. Connection made with Chenault.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he goes out right around the 39. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And he comes back with one complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Prescott. Very quickly here, and that's complete. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
Elliott will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Hey, yeah.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Let's go. Cheetah. Cheetah.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up. Joseph.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cowboys have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they pull a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. On 1st and 10, Dobson. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Come on, come on.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Dillon is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Commanders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. 73 yards on the ground for him so far. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Prescott now from the 50. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott now. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. 10 more there and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Back to throw again. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on fourth. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
On first down, Dobson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Hey, kill. Here we go, 46.
Well, Prescott here to throw.
Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Prescott to throw it.
Open man Lamb. It's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On play action, Prescott. Throwing left side, it's complete.
And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out.
A big play here for Dallas. 46 yards.
In a spot where most offenses would just be trying to get to the finish line and close this game out, they're still looking for points here in the final minute of this game. I think bonuses could be gained and attained with maybe more points.
Prescott yet again. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
On third down, Dobson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Throwing here, Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy.
Yeah, this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off play action. Dobson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Commanders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
They said their goal was to win 7 games. They've done that pretty early in the year.
I think it's time for them to elevate that number and really make a big push to finish the season strong.